Hello, welcome back. So in this video class we can continue with the synopsis of electrochemistry. So the first concept is conductance. So it is represented by the letter G. You know that conductance is reciprocal of what? Resistance. So once you consider conductance, it is helping for conductance of current, whereas resistance, it is resisting the flow of current. So therefore one is opposite to the another. So here we can say that conductance G is written as reciprocal of R, that is 1 by R. How we can define this conductance actually? So here this conductance can be defined as it is the ease with which the electric current flows through a conductor. The SI unit of this conductance is exactly that is given as Simon, that is symbol is S. So 1 Simon is actually equal to Ohm inverse. Reverse of this, how do you spell this? Ohm, O-H-M. So reverse of this, M-H-O. It is called as mho. So the 1 Simon can also be considered as mho, that is Ohm inverse or mho. And here we can say that G is given as 1 by R, that is reciprocal of the resistance. As we know, resistance is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to area of cross section. It is cross section between the two electrodes. Here we can say that R, if you remove the proportionality constant, R will be equal to rho into L by A. So rho is a constant here. So you can say here that is G is proportional to A by L. So why it is A by L? Because you know that G is proportional, that is G is equal to 1 by R, as you know. So here we can say that if R is proportional to L by A, then G is opposite to this, reciprocal to one another, as you know. Therefore, G is proportional to A by L. And now G is equal to, if you want to remove this proportionality symbol, then you have to introduce one more constant here. So which is that constant? Kappa, that is K. G is equal to K into A by L. So K is equal to, then we can alter this one. If you write K kappa on left hand side, we can get K is equal to G into L divided by A. So here actually this K stands for conductivity. So here conductivity we can write that K is equal to G into G star. Why we have written this G star? Because this G star actually it is representing L by A. So K is equal to G into L by A. Then in spite of writing L by A, what we can write? G star. That G star actually represents the cell constant. Now we can say that conductivity is written as product of conductance G and that is cell constant L by A. Therefore, conductivity is equal to conductance into cell constant. If you know the value of conductance and cell constant, then you can easily predict the conductivity. Now, K is equal to, as you know, K is equal to G into L by A. Here we have taken the same expression here. K is equal to G into L by A. I have taken this expression. Now, in case if you substitute that length of that electrolytic solution, we can say that 1 centimeter and area of cross section is 1 centimeter square. Then K will be exactly equal to G. Therefore, that K or conductivity will be equal to the conductance. Therefore, we can define this conductivity by considering this relationship by taking these values, unit measurements. What we can define, conductivity of an electrolytic solution may be defined as the conductance of a solution. When the conductivity will be considered as conductance, that is defined as the conductance of a solution of 1 centimeter length. When we take the length of electrolyte solution as 1 centimeter and with area of cross section is equal to 1 centimeter square. Got it? Therefore, how we can define it? Conductivity of an electrolytic solution may be defined as the conductance of a solution of 1 centimeter length and area of cross section equal to 1 centimeter square. Got it? That is regarding conductance. How we can define an electrolyte? Any substance which can conduct electricity either in its molten state or in aqueous form can be considered as electrolyte, as you know. So here electrolyte can be defined as, it is a substance that can be dissociated in solution to produce what? Ions. Then it is, that is, hence it conducts electricity in dissolved or the molten state. So whenever you consider any substance which conduct electricity, then what will be the reason for that electricity? It is due to the formation of the ions, that is cations and anions. Therefore, exactly, electrolyte is a substance which can dissociate to give the ions, so which are causing the electricity. Hence, we can say that electrolyte can even be classified as weak electrolyte and strong electrolyte. So, what is that main difference between weak electrolyte and strong electrolyte? The weak electrolyte dissociates partially, whereas strong electrolyte dissociate completely to give ions. You can consider simple examples like acids, bases. That acids and bases, either they will be strong electrolytes or weak electrolytes. Even you can consider salt, that is also salt solutions, that is also electrolyte. Hence we can say different examples like strong acid, that is HCl, it is a strong electrolyte because it dissociates completely to give H plus and Cl minus ions. And if you consider sodium hydroxide, that is a base, it is also dissociating to give Na plus and OH minus ions. And if we go for weak electrolyte, such as we can say weak acid, CH3COOH, acetic acid, it is weak acid or weak electrolyte because it dissociates partially to give CH3COO minus and H plus. And if we consider weak base like NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide, it is considered as weak base or weak electrolyte because it is also dissociating partially to give NH4 plus and OH minus. That is how we can consider different examples which are said to be electrolytes. Either they will be strong electrolytes or weak electrolytes. So if we consider NaCl, it dissociates completely to give Na plus and Cl minus. It is also example for strong electrolyte. Now, electrolytic or ionic conductance. What is meant by electrolytic or ionic conductance? So it is very simple. It is the conductance of electricity by ions present in the solution. Whichever the ions get dissociated by these respective electrolyte, they are releasing the respective ions there and they are causing the conductance of the electricity. That means for conductance of electricity, what is the main reason? Ions are the main reason. Therefore, we can say that the electrolytic or ionic conductance, it is nothing but it is a conductance of electricity by ions present in the solution. Here if you say that the factors which are influencing the flow of electricity through the electrolyte, whichever the electrolytic solution which is causing conductance of the electricity, which are those factors actually which are influencing this conductance of electricity. So here that flow of electricity through an electrolyte is due to the interactions. Which are those different types of interactions? Very first, nature of electrolyte, that is considered as interionic attraction, or we can say that is a solvation of ions, or it is also depending on the nature of solvent and its viscosity, even it is depending on the temperature. These are the factors which are influencing the flow of electricity. Very first, if we consider nature of electrolyte, as it is mentioned here, interionic attraction. If you say that electrolytic solution, there will be presence of solute will get dissociated in the presence of solvent. So if we consider NaCl is taken in water, so here water is acting as an aqueous medium. NaCl dissociates to give Na plus and Cl minus. So this electrolytic solution of sodium chloride causes passage of the electricity. That flow of electricity is due to the presence of both solute and solvent. Here NaCl is solute and water is solvent. So very first, if you say that the nature of electrolyte, higher the interaction between the solute or higher the interaction between the solute and solute, that is NaCl and NaCl, lesser will be the magnitude of the conductance or the flow of the conductance. So in case if the interaction is strong between the solute and solute, then it decreases the easy flow of the ions. lesser the flow of the ions and lesser will be the flow of the electricity. Therefore, as you can consider that interaction between the solute and solute interaction. So, higher the solute interaction, lesser will be the flow of ions, hence lesser will be the conductance. Lesser will be the conductance. That is inversely proportional. Higher the interactions, lesser will be the conductance. So that interaction between exactly solute and solute. Then, if you consider solvation of ions, that is with respect to interaction between solute and solvent. Solute and solvent. For example, interaction between NaCl and solvent, that is water. In case if solute molecules have got more interaction with the solvent, then there is a more chance for the solvation. That means solute molecules will get easily surrounded by more and more number of the solvent molecules. Then it is feeling difficult for that dissociation and for the free movement of the ions. Therefore, that solute higher the or increase in the more the magnitude of the solute solvent interaction, then it causes increase in solvation. If the solvation is more, then in opposite way it actually decreases the easy movement of the ions and hence it decreases the conductance. So conductance will get decreases with the increase in the interaction between the solute and solvent, or it is nothing but solvation. Next factor, the nature of solvent and its viscosity. That is with respect to interaction among solvent and solvent. If there is increase in the solvent-solvent interaction, the magnitude of solvent-solvent interaction is more. If there is higher solvent-solvent interaction, then it causes increase in the viscosity. There will be rise in the viscosity. If there is increase in the viscosity, then actually there will be decrease in the movement of the ions, hence there will be decrease in the conductance. That is how we can just decide whether there is an easy flow of electricity or it is difficult for the flow of electricity based on the interactions, which are those three types of interactions. Nature of electrolyte, that is interaction between solute-solute, and solvation of ions, that is interaction between solute and solvent, and then nature of solvent, that is interaction between solvent and solvent. Higher these interactions, lesser will be the conductance, we can simply decide. And then if we come for the temperature, if there is increase in the temperature, there will be decrease in the interaction between either between solute to solute, or between solute solvent, or between solvent solvent. Hence, with a rise in temperature, there will be decrease in the interactions between either solute or solvent, or solvent and solvent. Therefore, once there is increase in temperature, interactions will get decreases, and as a result there will be increase in the conductance. There will be increase in the conductance. This is how we can decide based on these factors. We can decide whether there is an increase in the flow of electricity through an electrolyte, or there is a decrease in electricity through an electrolyte. The next topic, that is regarding molar conductivity. So here the molar conductivity, as you know, it is given by the symbol lambda m. So how we can define this molar conductivity? So it can be defined as the conducting power of all the ions which are produced by dissolving 1 mole of an electrolyte placed between 2 large electrodes at 1 centimeter apart. So if you are conducting, it is considered as a cell. We are taking 2 electrodes, one is anode and the one is cathode. So one is anode and the one is cathode. And here these 2 electrodes are separated by, what is that distance? 1 centimeter apart. In this we have taken that electrolyte solution, and here that electrolyte solution which contains the ions, these ions are produced. Let us consider we have dissolved NaCl in water. So here we are considering the conductance of all the ions produced by dissolving 1 mole. If you are taking 1 mole of sodium chloride in this electrolytic solution, then in this cell these two electrodes are separated by 1 centimeter apart. Then how we can define this conductivity? It is nothing but it is defined as conducting power of all the ions produced by dissolving 1 mole of an electrolyte. That is actually placed between two large electrodes which are separated by 1 centimeter apart. Here we can write the expression for this molar conductivity. What is that expression? Lambda m is equal to K into Vm. Either you can write lambda m is equal to K into Vm, or we can write lambda m is equal to K by C. Here, as you know, K is equal to conductivity or specific conductance. And Vm is, that is volume in meter cube containing 1 mole of electrolyte. So that what is that exact volume we are considering in this electrolytic cell? That is volume in terms of meter cube that actually containing 1 mole of electrolyte. What is this C stands for? C is nothing but concentration of electrolyte in mole per meter cube. How many moles are dissolved in meter cube of the solution? So that is giving the concentration. If you say number of moles in 1 meter cube of solution is equal to 1000 m. So number of moles in 1 meter cube of solution is 1000 m. Then we can write the expression for lambda m as lambda m is equal to K by 1000 m. That is given in the units as Simon meter square mole inverse. In case if you use the unit other than the Simon meter square mole inverse, that is in terms of Simon centimeter square mole inverse, then that expression will be changed like this. So lambda m is equal to K into 1000 divided by m. So because 1 Simon meter square mole inverse is equivalent to 10 power 4 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. You can solve out the problems. It's based on the units what they have given.